This could happen to you, and what you can do about it. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Cue the intro. Alright, so on to the video. This can be a good one, I think. This could happen to you. Scenario based, kind of. It's something we need to think about as preppers. As this world keeps moving further and further away from lawlessness, or from rule of law into lawlessness. That's what I meant to say. There's a lot more threats out there. There's a lot more threats to us, to our property, to things we have, to our persons, our families, etc. Say you're sleeping in the middle of the night and somebody smashes through your door or smashes into your window and comes in. Could be a home invasion. It could be a no-knock raid. Could be several different things. What do you do about it? This is a decision you're going to have to make, obviously, because of the laws involved, the implications of your actions, etc. But if you don't think about this scenario that I'm going to go into, then you'll never be ready for it. Before I get into the scenario and talking about it a little bit more, please hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell for all, hit that thumbs up, share the videos, comment below, and if you really want to help out the channel, which would be greatly appreciated, the little heart with thanks in it, super thanks. If you want to donate to the channel, I would really appreciate it. But don't feel obligated. Anyway, to the video. This seems to be an ever more likely scenario, and it's something we need to prepare for. I mean, you can have all the beans and rice and all the stockpiles of all the prepping stuff you want, which is great. It's part of the equation. But self-defense, defense of your home, defense of your family is very important. You got to have tools. Tools. And the skill and training to employ them properly. That's one of the most important things. Maybe you live somewhere, speaking to people mostly outside the United States, that you can't have these kind of tools. There are other tools you can use. You can use non-lethal stuff. You can use pepper sprays. You can use batons. You can use bats. You can use axes. You can use swords. You can use crossbows. You can use bows. You can use lots of different things. Pitchforks even, shovels, hammers. I mean, tomahawks. Yeah, there's a lot of different choices you have. Knives. But none of those are as good as one of these kind of defensive tools. This isn't the best for home defense, especially if you live in an urban environment. Why? Because of over penetration. You don't want to engage a target, have it go through them, or miss them, go through the wall and into your neighbor's house and through their house, and 3 houses down it lodges into some little kid. You don't want that happening. So, usually I would say that this kind of tool is always better than this kind of tool. But in home protection, this might be a better option, because this won't over-penetrate. And this you can have close to your bed, sitting on the nightstand, if you don't have kids, one of those biometric safes, like fingerprints or touch pads, that's quick access. Maybe one of those larger defensive tools that shoots things that scatter. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, I love being in the United States and having the First Amendment and not being able to actually use the words to represent the items. Yeah, I just love that. Yeah. Anyway, 12 gauge tool. That would be a good home defense. There are a lot of different ways to approach it. Tools, training, equipment is part of it. Securing your home properly is also part of it. But when you secure your home, you also got to think about things like egress. Say you just have a fire in the house and you got to get out. You don't want to have bars over your windows because that'll stop you from getting out. Locks on your doors, bars on your doors, cross bracing on your doors, stuff like that. Yeah, that's all good. Start there. Start looking around at your house and figure out ways to better prepare for threats like this. I do not like the idea, let's talk about no-knock raids a little bit. I do not like the idea of no-knock raids because if somebody busts in my door in the middle of the night and starts yelling, police or sheriff's department or something like that, can I believe that? Would not a group of bad guys also do the same thing and maybe be dressed similarly and have patches made up that say sheriff or police? Yes, they might. They might even say ATF or FBI. They may just be scumbags. I would hate to be in that situation, but I'll tell you what, no knock raid in my house, I'm going to respond appropriately to what I feel is appropriate. You have to decide for yourself how you would react. Now, if Sheriff's Department shows up at my door, knocks on my door, and says hello, I say, oh, hey, how's it going? I meet them. I say, I acknowledge your presence. I'm going to place a quick call to 911 to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you're supposed to be here. That's the way you do it. Verify that they're here. Say, acknowledge your presence. Don't tell them I'm not ignoring you. I'm just verifying that you are who you are. And if they are who they are, no problem. And then I might continue a conversation with them, depending on, and then, see how it goes from there. You got to be smart. We all probably are targets here for this kind of stuff and these three-letter agencies. Stay legit, above board, do things lawfully, sure, but they're changing stuff all the time. They legislate, even though they're not part of the legislative branch. They make up laws. They say things are illegal when they're not. So what do? You may be a 100% law-abiding citizen, and tomorrow you may be a felon, according to them. Frustrating times we live in. But we need to think about, mainly I'm looking at the threat of just, home invasion type stuff. And it's not just you and your skills and your training. What about your family? Does your family have any training? Does your family have any skills? Does your family have any tools like this to use? Got to think about that. It's not just say, like I'm the man of the house, whatever. I'm the man in the relationship, my wife, my kids. Doesn't mean that my wife can't be fully capable of defending herself in the home. And she is. Trust me that. She was also military. She was actually maybe date ourselves a little bit. She was an M60 gunner, machine gunner. Yeah. Hoo-yah. She's fully qualified in all the weapon systems. She knows, how to use them. And it's not just that, though. It's the plan. Does your family have a plan? Do they all know what to do if and what to do when? Say that door gets smashed in the middle of the night. Do your kids know what to do? Obviously, you want them out of the way. So you want to have them know where they need to go and what they need to do. They need to go to the safest room. They need to stay low, hopefully have some form of cover, meaning something that might stop rounds, and then have them stay put and stay quiet. And like our family plan is, if I am home, then my wife and the 2 kids go to a certain part, and then I take care of the problem. And they know if they don't receive a knock or hear my voice, and we have code words, so they know that I'm not being coerced. Like, say somebody's sitting there like this with me, and I say, hey honey, open the door, it's me. She knows that that's not actually me. I have to say a certain word before she'll open that door. That's a good thing to have. You got to have a way to communicate with each other. You got to have a plan. Your family needs to know what to do, where to go, how to get out of the house if they need to, and run, like for us, run back there into the woods. Give tribe a call and say, hey, backup needed now. Or help now. That's all she's got to do. One text to our group text, and I'll have at least 10 guys fully kitted up on my property within maximum 10 minutes, 15 minutes-ish, ready for backup. Yeah, that's the way to go about it. That's why tribe is important also. And neighbors who lives right around you, because they're the closest to you. They're going to be the quickest to respond. And have your children know emergency numbers. Have them know things, if they're age appropriate, of course, how to use a tourniquet, how to do different things, first aid related. That's also a part of the equation. So if somebody gets hurt in all this mess, say I get taken down, maybe I take out some of the bad guys, maybe they get lucky and get me also. And so I'm down. They need to know how to take care of me until the ambulance gets there. And that's within rule of law and without SHTF totally happening when you still have ambulance. If you're without rule of law in a total collapse situation, it's going to be a lot worse. You're not going to have that medical aid or that law enforcement backup. You're going to have to deal with everything yourself. That's why tribe. I can't do medical on myself. Well, very limited. I can. I also can't, if I'm down hard, obviously I can't get myself to tribe members that have more advanced medical capability. So that's important. But make sure you have a plan. Make sure you go over it with your family. Make sure that you're training your family as much as possible. Age-appropriate stuff for your children. I have a 14-year-old at home. He's really good with these kind of things. So could he be part of the defensive plan, the armed defensive plan? Yes, he could. Do I leave an AR in his room? Of course not. No way would I leave access to a, the bipolar, upset, depressed, angry at you teenager. No way. You got to be smart, of course, right? Teenagers, man, that's like, they just suck sometimes. I love my kids, but I'll tell you what, teenagers just suck. It's just, that is what it is. But anyway, think about these things and talk them over with your family. Talk over your plan, set up your plan, get it in place now, because we never know when things might go south. We got to take care of our family. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to be there. We got to stay in the fight. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.